Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another video from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. And this evening I want to come to y'all with a video talking about Jemelle Hill comments, called the police slave patrol. And if you ask me, Jemelle Hill was absolutely right. When she called the spade for spade, she literally spoke the truth of calling the police slave patrol, because if you look at the origin of the police, that's what they started off as, doing slavery. And if you really take a look at the history down the line, nothing has really changed. Because when she called them slave patrol and all that, if you really look at the history and all that, that's what they started off at back in the days doing slavery. Because what they did was they imported the Irish over here because they wanted to maintain control of the property. Because if you're still being looked upon as property and all that, you want to make sure that your property going to be staying with you. So that's when, once they imported the Irish over here, and they called them slave catchers, because they wanted to make sure that these slaves did not run away, and they became they pretty much became free men and women. And when she called them that, she literally became up under a lot of scrutiny by the media, because she spoke the truth up on it. And at the same time, if you really can't handle the truth and all that, then you shouldn't say not a goddamn word, because that's what the police have really become anyway. That's what the slave patrol has become now anyway as well. They come nothing but modern day slave patrol. If you take a look at it right about now, that's what we living up under, especially up under white supremacy and all that. The police has the policemen, they nothing but race soldiers and modern day slave patrol. And see, back in the day, when it came down to the KKK, when they were forming all that, and the police department, that was the main thing and the main goal, and that is that they wanted to maintain and keep us confined, and they wanted us to keep us subjugated and oppressed and all that. And they were out there lynching us, and also as well, the KKK and the police department, they all work hand in hand anyway. And people wonder why all the time, how can the Ku Klux Klan have not been diminished by the federal government? It is because, for one, they all work hand in hand. They all work together. So when it come down to it, man, it's just, y'all gotta excuse me, man, I'm getting a little emotional when I think about it, man. The Ku Klux Klan and the police department, they all work together. And that's part of the reason why you're seeing so many of these cops and all that out there. They killing this because they already have been infiltrated, they already been infiltrated by white supremacists anyway. And if you really take a look at the origin, man, if you just take a look at the origin, man, nothing has really changed. Because if you look at all of these laws and all that, man, the laws are nothing but modern day black slave codes, the private prison industrial complex is the new plantation, and the police is nothing but modern day slave patrol. And it's like, you mean to tell me that we're going to have Caucasian police officers, white police officers that are going to be coming to our communities, and they're going to be subjugating us, brutalizing us, murdering us and all that, and you got black police officers who doing the same thing? And it's just crazy, man, because that's who they that's who they become. That's really who they become, because they were actually doing this through slavery, doing Reconstruction. When we had Black Wall Street over here in Durham, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, and all the way down to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that's what they wanted to do, especially back in the day when they were having these race riots and all that. They was out there torturing us, man. They was out there killing us, man. And if you just take a look at it right about now, nothing has really changed. Nothing has changed. And like I said, man, they've been doing this, man, ever since pretty much in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s all the way up until now, especially back in the day when they criminalized us. So when they criminalized us in the media and all that, they pretty much wanted to go out there, man, and to convince white America and everybody else that we nothing but crooks, thieves, thugs, and criminals, so they could find a way to justify when they killing us in the first place. Especially back in the days when they coined the term the war on drugs, when they criminalized us back in the 70s and the 80s, when the heroin came in, when the heroin epidemic came in our community, especially when the cocaine and crack epidemic came in our community, they literally upped the police presence back in the 80s and the 90s, because the main goal and objective is that they want to subjugate us, they want to lock us all up and throw away the key, they want to throw away the key and all that. So guess what? So when you got a felony and all that, it goes right back to the 13th Amendment, to where as though you were free, the slaves are free now unless of a crime. Now, if you've been convicted of a crime and all that, guess what? You're not really free. That is exactly why I say the 13th and the 14th and the 15th Amendment and all that, it really has not made us free anyway. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It really has not made us free. And as long as they're going to be coming to our communities and all that, subjugating us, that's pretty much what they are. They still looked upon as property. And as long as we're going by their legal status of Negro, Black, and colored, and even African American, we still looked upon as property, because we really haven't proclaimed our real nationality as the indigenous ones of this land. We are pretty much in exile in our own land. We are in exile in our own land. We are under European colonial occupation by people who really don't have any jurisdiction over us any daggone way. And that's the reason why, man, because as long as we living up under their rule and under white supremacy and all that, we still going to be subjugated. And if you ask me, Jemelle Hill was absolutely right. They are nothing but modern day slave patrol. I'm giving y'all some history upon this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up, you know, with another video to break this down even more. So now the media want to be attacking Jemelle Hill because she's speaking the truth up on that. And I say, if you really cannot handle the truth, then you should keep your fucking mouth shut. Because every time we speak the truth on these things, we're always going to be coming up under fire. And like I said, as it is today, they are still modern day slave patrol. You know, they literally, you know, I'm talking about, they literally, man, like the police and the KKK, they all one and the same. So you should not even question why they're doing it. How come they have not been terminated by the federal government? Because they all work together. And the main goal is they want to exterminate us, man. They want to lock us up, man, because they want to keep us away from our families, from our sons and our daughters, and they want to keep us away from our mates. Because the main goal and objective of them, they want to maintain their dominance, and they want to maintain, you know, by destroying the indigenous African family that is over here in this land, especially all throughout the Americas. And all throughout the Americas, we're going through the exact same thing, all through Central and South America, even up here in North America. So we got to understand, man, who these people are, and we got to recognize that. And like I said, Jemelle Hill was absolutely right. So I just had to put that in proper perspective and make y'all think, man, because, you know, these motherfuckers, man, it's no different. And I just really had to shed light up on this video, man. And I had to let you know what it is, man, to those of y'all who not awakened to it, man. And you just got to really recognize who these people really are, you know. So I had to drop this video. So I appreciate the love and all that. Y'all keep on liking and subscribing to my channel. And this is B Miles coming to you live once again from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. One love once again. Peace.